There's a power within you. It lifts your life to its highest level. It brings success, companionship, happiness, health, and peace of mind. As you tap into this power, it will respond to you because this power is within you. And that's why spirituality rocks. Welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Janine Burns, and I teach practical spirituality according to the New Thought tradition. New Thought teaches there's one presence and power in the universe, God, the good, omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipotent. And we teach that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So we don't teach you what to think, but we teach you how to think so that you can live a rewarding, fulfilling, and productive life experience. And toward that end, I have a fantastic show for you today. I have Mary Guariglia. I'm sure I didn't say that right, so she's going to have to correct me. How do you say your name? Guariglia, who's an energy healer with Access Consciousness. I have Dede Lyons, the Feel Good and Express Empowerment Coach. And on the phone, I have with me the Rev.Kathy Caputo, who I work with the Guiding Light Foundation. And so let's just jump right in with 2 feet. Welcome to Spirituality Rocks, Kathy Caputo.
Hi, thank you. I'm so glad to be here tonight.
I'm delighted to have you. And I work with Kathy. We perform Celebration of Life memorial services. We perform weddings. And we've both taught practical spirituality for some time now. And why I asked Kathy to be on the show this evening was because of her recent post on Facebook from this book, 3 Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. Tell us about that post, Kathy.
Well, it's funny because every morning I look for something to put on my Facebook page that's uplifting and is going to teach practical spirituality. And I went onto my bookshelf and I just happened to pull that out and opened up to the page that said the 30-day mental diet. And I said, wow, I haven't done this in a long time, and I really, really need to do this because I kind of live 2 worlds. I live my ministry, and I also have a business that I go to every day, and it's very easy for me to just let everything, all the things that I do in my ministry, right out the window when I walk into this other place.
You mean it's all filled with negativity? Is that what you mean?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Do you mean it's filled with negativity when you go to work?
It's filled with negativity, and I can very easily get into the flow of that. And so I said, wow, this is a wonderful thing for me to start the very next day. And so I said, let me put this on Facebook so I can have a lot of other people join me. And I also said to please keep me accountable so that as I'm doing this, if I forget, somebody can gently and lovingly say, hey, Kathy, you know what? You're going back into that old negativity again.
Okay, so
I actually got people at my office to join in with me.
Okay,
so we're all kind of lovingly being the negativity police because we know that what we have in our consciousness, what we're believing in, what we're saying, we're drawing to ourselves.
Right. Now, what I want the people to, excuse me, Kathy, but I want to make sure that the people know exactly what we're talking about, and that is that the 30-day mental diet is a diet from negative thinking. And so you can't control the thoughts that come into your mind, but you can control whether you focus upon them and think about them, because you can reject a thought. There's a Chinese proverb that says you can't keep the birds from flying over your head, but you can keep them from making a nest in your hair. And so that's what the 30-day mental diet is. So tell us more. Please continue.
So what happens is we're going to have some negative thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But the 30-day mental diet means you're not going to accept them. You're not going to stay in it like we usually do. We can make a choice to get out of that, to say, you know what, I'm not going to stay in this negativity. I'm not going to stay with this negative thought, and make that choice to start thinking about something else, to turn that around. And it's kind of like I love that song that's in the Sound of Music, Raindrops on Roses.
Yes.
How Maria was teaching the children when they were fearful to start thinking about something else, to put your focus on something else. Because what you focus on, again, is what you start to attract to yourself. And I've only been doing this for 2 days, and I find that I'm really catching myself when I'm starting to say something negative, starting to stay in that negativity. And by making that choice not to stay in that, my day is going so much better, and I'm not attracting more of it. So it really is a life changer when we can make the choice not to be negative, to look at something positive, and to then attract more of it. And the more that you do this, the more you practice it, the easier and easier it becomes.
Absolutely. It reminds me of a snowball at the top of a hill, and it starts down and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And if it's a positive snowball, you know, it's got positive thoughts, it gets bigger and bigger. Or if it's negative,
Right.
it gets bigger and bigger. So, and what's so wonderful, now you know what I've done, and I did this years ago and I still use this, is that I have a list of think about this instead that I made years ago when I first started on the pathway of learning how to think positively. And so on my list, I remember when I was a little girl, my grandfather had this incredible rose garden, and that was on the list. Or I used to love to skip down the dock with my dad, and I would think about that. Or there's so many other things on my list that I would think about, like I love boating, going on the boating, other things that brought me a lot of joy and peace of mind. So I want to offer that tip to people, is to make a think about instead list.
That is really wonderful. You know, it's funny, a friend of mine gave me a plaque to keep on my desk that says, another day in paradise. Now, you can say that in two different ways. You can say another day in paradise, or, oh, another day in paradise. And so I think that's another thing that we could keep in front of us, is something that's going to bring us back to that positive thought, something that we feel is positive. Just like you made your list. Maybe people want to make a list and just keep it in front of them, so that when they start into that negativity, they can just turn their attention to that list.
And I think another good tip.
I know. Go ahead.
I think another good tip that we can do is, sometimes we don't even realize we're being negative, is I like the idea of, you know, turning on a timer of sorts. You know, whether it's a kitchen timer or you actually bring to work a little desk timer, and set it arbitrarily, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. And then when the timer goes off, just notice where your mind has been, what directions
Yes.
it's taking. And I think it's important, Kathy, to let people become aware that when you begin to think positively, your ego mind does not like it when you're in charge of your thinking. We are the thinkers who think the thoughts in our minds that produces the things in our lives. However, our ego mind feeds on fear and doubt and negativity. So when we, you know, stand up and say, hey, I'm making a choice to be positive, the ego mind can get pretty nutty and start really bombarding with negative thoughts. And so it's just our job to go, oh, look, there's another negative thought. That's not true. I don't accept it, and move on.
Right. You know, a lot of times I just say, not a word of truth about that. And the other, I like the word awareness, because I find that the past couple of days I am more aware of what I'm thinking. I am more aware of what I'm saying. Just from staying on this 30-day mental diet. The other thing is, there is a pamphlet called the 7-Day Mental Diet by Emmett Fox. And you can actually go online, and if you go into Google and just put 7-Day Mental Diet by Emmett Fox, the pamphlet will come up that you can read, or you can print out for yourself. And it's basically the same thing.
Well, the 7-Day Mental Diet, as I recall, has you think about God instead.
You can do that.
That's what, but the 7-Day Mental Diet, that's what Emmett Fox taught on that if something comes up, you think about God instead. You know what else, Kathy, and I'm sure you're familiar with, Willis Kinnear wrote a book that is a 30-day mental diet, and he gives you a program each day of what to think, as well as an affirmative prayer. That's Willis Kinnear wrote 30-day mental diet.
I love that. It's Kinear, right?
I think it's 2 N's.
Okay.
I think so.
All right.
You know what, I like what you said about awareness, because I think that's a word that resonates with a lot of people with a great deal of clarity. And a lot of people use the word mindful. And that's something that's become very popular these days, is mindfulness and being in the now moment. But the idea of being aware is different, because it fosters a greater level of attention in what you're saying and where your mind is going. I like that a lot.
It absolutely does. And the other thing is the choice. We always have a choice that we can make to stay in something or to get out of it. And certainly in the past couple of days, I find that my choice not to stay in that negativity makes me feel so good. My body feels different even.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what happens is, I believe that once our thoughts get to 51% in the positive, they just zoom way up to like 80%. It's just so exciting when that happens.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Absolutely. And it's something that I love to teach kids also. You know, if we can start children very young knowing this, can you imagine what their life is going to be like? They're not going to have to unlearn all the things that we have to unlearn.
Absolutely.
I'm sure their life is going to be very different.
They would learn to reject negative thinking at a young age. That life would be spectacular. I like that a lot.
Absolutely. Most definitely.
Wonderful.
So what I love is that I can have people in my office kind of say to me, you know, Kathy, that's kind of going back into this. So I think having people around you, friends, family members that you can enlist to do this with, to help keep you accountable, it's so much easier. It's just like if you're on a physical diet. If your whole family is on it, it's a lot easier not to go to the refrigerator and eat the chocolate and everything else if everyone else is doing it with you.
Well, life is all about connection, so we have someone with whom we can connect to join us in this. It makes it better, and that's why I so appreciated you putting it on Facebook. Now, we have a banner across the bottom of the screen with your email address, so if people want to get in contact with you, they can email you. You can also look up Kathleen Caputo, C-A-P-U-T-O, on Facebook, and you can learn more about U.S. Anderson and his book, 3 Magic Words. Also, at the end of each chapter on this, he has a section on meditation. Did you happen to know that U.S. Anderson used to be a plastic surgeon? He wrote a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and he realized, being a plastic surgeon, that so many people's problems and issues came because of their self-identity and their awareness, and that when they identified with the presence and power that we call God, Spirit, the thing itself, infinite intelligence, how much their self-esteem improved. And I'm not going to give up the 3 magic words. However, if you are to read the book, or maybe if you send Kathy an email, she'll tell you. But when you see the 3 magic words, that just shifts everything and really catapults your self-esteem just so greatly because of spiritual identity.
It absolutely does. And you know what? I don't tell people the 3 magic words.
Oh, you're not telling? Okay, then I'm not telling. Oh, okay, then we're not telling.
People really need to get the book and read it because
okay, good.
It is such an important book to read.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Well, Kathy, I just want to thank you so much for joining us on Spirituality Rocks. And again, on the screen, we see, oh, wait a minute. Let's talk about Tony for a minute. Tony, yeah. Tony, what's Tony's last name? I want to pronounce it right.
Tony Bussey, B-U-S-S-E.
Tony Bussey. Tony Bussey just came up with this amazing app. And those who are viewing the show, his email address is across the bottom of the screen. Write it down and send him an email. Tell him that you're interested in the 30-day mental diet, and he will let you use his app free for 30 days. And it's an app that holds you accountable to your commitments. Tell us a little bit more about it, Kathy.
Well, I've been doing that since December.
You do, yeah?
And because of that, I was writing a book for a couple of years, a children's book.
Okay.
And I have now, because of that app, finished the first draft of that book.
Wonderful.
I exercise every day because of it. It's just amazing just to have that accountability. And sometimes it's not even having somebody else look at it. It's that you go on there every day, very, very easy thing to do. Just check off the things you've done. And just to make that feeling, have that feeling of, wow, I accomplished something today, makes you want to do it again the next day.
Yes. And you can also get, it's wonderful. He also offers support. So again, look on the bottom of this screen and write down Tony's email address. Send him an email and tell him that you heard about the 30-day mental diet, and he'll let you have that app for free for a month. I think that's so exciting that he made that offer to us.
It's very generous, and he's wonderful at doing this.
Tony, you're the best. Kathleen, you're the best. Thank you so much for joining us on Spirituality Rocks.
It was my pleasure. Have a great night.
You too, darling. And so we're going to take a brief commercial break, and wow, the rest of the show is jam-packed with delicious goodness, because we have with us my friend Dede Lyons from the Feel Good Express, whose work is comprehensive in terms of empowering you to live full out now, right here and right now. We also have Mary Guariglia. I'm going to get it right. Mary Guariglia. She is with Access Consciousness, and she is an energy healer. So we're going to talk about that. Now is our commercial break. Stay tuned. Don't go far. We'll be right back with more of Spirituality Rocks.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners. Stretching under...
I think this is a good time to tell you. You're doing okay, Mom. I can call you Mom, right? I know we haven't known each other very long, but you seem like a real keeper. You're not perfect. There was that strained carrots incident, but you're trying. You pick up my bottle every time I toss it out of my stroller. That's high comedy to an 8-month-old. You hum the Barber of Seville when you wash my hair. So cool. And your rub-downs are out of this world. Anyway, I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You know, right? How much I love you. You're doing okay, Mom.
Welcome back to Spirituality Rocks. I'm your host, Janine Burns. Excited to be here with another fantastic episode of Spirituality Rocks. Please check us out on Facebook, and we have a page and a group, Spirituality Rocks. I'd also like to give a shout out to my sound engineer, Janine Zerilli, and Tommy Marr, my producer, for their fantastic efforts and work these past 2 years, making this show just fantastic. We film at the Madhouse TV studios in Interlochen Park, Long Island. I bless you guys, I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys, and I'm very grateful that you've been with me through this fantastic journey. And so now, I want to tell you about my next guest. My next guest is a ball of dynamic energy and of love and light. You may have seen her about 1.5 years ago when she was in the studio. She's joining us on Skype today. Her name is Dede Lyons, and she is an empowerment coach, and her website is Feel Good Express. She has a fantastic work going on. I saw her recently when she has a home in Florida. She teaches down there as well as out in the Hamptons. She lives in the Hamptons, and I teach in the Hamptons sometimes, and that's where I saw her recently. And I'm just thrilled that she agreed to be on the show because she's going to bring a lot of wisdom, but also a lot of love, and you'll be able to feel it through the screen. I promise you that. So, welcome to Spirituality Rocks, Dede Lyons.
Thank you, Janine. I'm so excited to be here. I love being around your energy.
Oh, that's so nice. You know, I was on your website a couple of times recently. Your website rules. I just love your website because, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you know, don't give it away, don't give it away. But, you know, we live in an abundant universe. There's so much information out there, and people can go on your website, see clearly what you do, get some magnificent tips in so many subjects before you actually even go into empowerment. So I want people to know that. Check out the Feel Good Express. But tell us, you are an empowerment coach. I'm not sure what people know what that is. Tell us about that.
Okay, so what I do is I empower you or my clients with the tools that they need to manifest their dreams. So I help them release worry, doubt, fear, frustration, lower that all out of their beautiful vase, and open a space for them. They step into it. So if they're ready to get a new boyfriend, a new career, whatever it is they need, I give them the tools and then they manifest it.
That is wonderful. So then in giving people the tools, that's obvious then how you empower them to take action. So you support them in that process. That's great. That's really great. You are also, Dede, a prolific author. I'm just amazed at your writings. One of the things I like that you write about is 3 hugs a day. Tell us about your hug program.
Okay. The most important relationship is the one that you have with yourself. So if you love yourself inside out and backwards, it's so important. So I say to people, make sure you have at least 3 hugs a day. And by the end of the day, if you say, oh God, I only did 2 hugs, hug yourself. But 3 is, you know, minimal. You could do 10. You could do as many as you want, but hugging is very good for the receiver and the giver. The best thing.
Exactly. I love hugging yourself. That's nice. You can just give yourself a little squeeze if you need to. A great part of your work is the concept of gratitude. And if you've watched the show before, you've heard me say, Plato said, a grateful mind is a great mind, which eventually attracts great things, because that's my favorite gratitude quote. Tell us, Dede, why actually is gratitude so significant and so important?
I love being in a state of gratitude, and when you are grateful, you attract abundance. So the more in that space, the better you feel, and more things start to come in because you're exuding gratitude.
And in your gratitude work, I know that you teach the people to have gratitude in the mirror. Tell us about that.
Okay. I love mirror work, and you'll hear Louise Hay talk about it. That's one of her favorite things that she recommends.
What is it? What is it?
Feeling. So you get in front of the mirror.
Right.
And the best time to do it is in the morning, right when you get out of the shower and you're getting ready.
Okay.
Us girls with our hair drying, doing our thing. And say out loud, very intimately, eye-to-eye contact in that mirror, and tell yourself how much you love yourself, how lovable you are, and how fun you are, all these really deep, tender, loving things to yourself. And it really opens you up for this really beautiful day.
That's really hard to do, though, because I know sometimes when I look in the mirror in the morning, I go, oh my gosh, my eyes are swollen, and I see things that are imperfect. And you reminded me when I was reading your website and reading your material that I need to be more loving to myself. So I've been looking in the mirror and reminding myself of my good qualities and my talents and abilities. And you're right, Dede, it's a really good skill.
Yeah, and I have had a few clients that go, oh, I can't do it. They get in front of the mirror and they run out, But after you just push yourself a little bit each day, even if it's just come in the mirror and give yourself a wink and run out. But you'll grow to intimately, because it's that heart to heart. You're speaking to your soul. You're speaking to your heart when you tell yourself how lovable you are and how much you love yourself. And it's speaking to the inner child.
Fantastic. Now you have, as part of your program, you teach people about expressing gratitude. Tell us about that.
I think the more you express gratitude to someone, like, for example, Janine, I'm very grateful that you asked me to join your show today. Very grateful. And the more you tell people that you're grateful, they open up. And plus, you open up. And then you get this heart-to-heart connection that's a beautiful way to keep the communication with that person. Now, sometimes it might be you're in CVS or you're in the back of a taxi, but you could also tell those people you like their smile or you feel safe in their cab. It's really good to express it, because the more you express it, your vibration goes up. And that's the name of the game. Let's get our vibration up as high as we can.
Yeah, and then you naturally will attract more to you. It's always so wonderful. You know, you never know what people are going through. You know, you see the cashier at the grocery store and she's got a snarl on her face. Well, you maybe don't know that she really needs that job, and that maybe, you know, maybe her kid just broke his arm and she can't go to the hospital because if she leaves, she's going to get fired, you know? So you never know that the light and the love that you can bring to someone by offering appreciation. I agree. Also, you talk about a gratitude vision board. This is one of my all-time favorite things. Tell us about your idea of a gratitude vision board.
Okay, so on that vision board, you can put everything you're grateful about. And it could be the things, you know, obviously it could be you're grateful for your husband, your daughter, or your health, that kind of thing. But I like also putting up gifts about yourself that you're grateful about.
Oh.
So if you're a singer or a dancer or a poet or a writer, put something up about yourself so you get a reminder every day about what your gifts are. And then you start to own them and feel grateful about yourself. So it's good to feel grateful about other things that are going on in your life, but I really recommend being grateful for your own purpose.
Oh, we bleeped out there. You really recommend feeling grateful for? We bleeped out then. You really recommend being grateful for what?
Grateful for your own gifts.
For your own gifts, okay.
Empowering yourself. Yeah, because I've had seminars and workshops, and I'll say, okay, everybody, write down 2 or 3 things that you feel really good about yourself, that you love. You know, you're lovable, you can dance, you can sing, you're approachable, whatever it is. I'm a poet, you know. And at the end, I'll go, everybody must feel really good now. And for the first time I did it in one of my seminars, 2 people raised their hand and said, you know what? I'm not feeling that good. So I was so glad that they shared it, because some people, us women, are humble about our gifts and don't want to feel it's bragging to own them.
Right.
So it was very good that I've got that reception from a couple of women in class. So owning your gifts is so powerful.
Awesome. So let's switch gears here, and you have Feel Good Express. That's the name of your website, and those are programs and workshops that you present in the community. I know you present them down in Florida. You also present them up in New York. Tell us about Feel Good Express. What is it all about?
It is something that developed over the years, because when I turned 40, 24 years ago, I started on a journey myself that had to do with raising my vibration level, finding out things that were going to make me feel better, because I was 40, I was out of steam, I knew I would be in broadcast sales and marketing at least another 20 years, and I said, I got to find some things that really give me energy. So of course I embarked on new diet with raw foods. I started rebirthing. I went for chakra healing. I read over the last 20 years over 500 books on self-development and self-healing, and you name it. If it could raise my vibration level, aromatherapy, I did it and I tried it. So I was doing it all along with my sales team. So I thought, okay, so I'm going to take my show on the road, so to speak. So when I released 32 Years of Broadcast Sales and Marketing 2.5 years ago, I decided to do this full time. And so that's how it came about. I was trying to balance my own mind, body, and spirit, and then balance my salespeople. I had 10 people. We had a big budget, every quarter. And then my clients. So that's what I did. It's basically mind, body, spirit balance. And if you're too mindful, meaning not mindful, like too much in your mind.
Yes.
And not in your spirit, or too much in your spirit and not in your body. So you'll feel things are out of balance. So I help people with that balance of mind, body, spirit.
And I love when you say beautiful mind, beautiful body, beautiful spirit. There's something about that is empowering.
Yes.
Exactly. Now, tell us a little bit more about how your work is expanding. You work with people on Skype. You work with people. Tell us exactly. You do one-on-one. What do you do?
Okay. Well, it started out with the workshops. Then eventually got into one-on-one, because people at the workshops would say, I want one-on-one sessions. It really has just evolved very beautifully at a nice pace over the last 2.5 years. So just recently, the last 6 months, expanded in a big way, where I started to do branding, helping people that have small businesses brand their business, because I did that anyway when I worked at News Channel 5 in West Palm Beach, so that was pretty easy to do. I also got approached to do angel sessions and angel journaling classes. So that became something new for me. And then recently I have someone I'm working with that has going through a very deep grief. She lost a loved one. And on top of that, I got opportunities to give back to the community and work with women in recovery at a place called Gratitude House in West Palm Beach. And also Berkeley Place, which is part of the Lord's Place, which is where they house homeless women. So I got to go to both safe houses twice and do my program. And it was very rewarding and very deep, tender shift for me, which I'm so blessed and grateful that I had that experience. And when I go back in the fall, late fall, I'll be seeing them again.
Good. So you're actually working with people who are grieving. That's wonderful. We really need people like that, because we're not taught how to manage grief and how to walk through it. And it's a very difficult process to walk through and live your everyday life and manage and deal with work, etc. So I'm excited you're doing that. Well, you know what? It's just about time for another commercial break. But before we go, can we talk about, you wrote a beautiful piece called Live From Your Heart. And I just resonated with that so much. Tell people how they can live from their heart and what that means, please.
Okay. Living from your heart is speaking from your heart. So lots of people speak from just the mind. It goes mind and out here. I recommend your heart and your mind together speaking. And when you speak from your heart, it's the clearest. People will receive you the best. And I also recommend putting oil, here we go, here's one of my oils, on your heart chakra.
It's an essential oil.
Yeah, any essential oil that's your favorite. Just put it on there so you're aware of it. And so whenever you communicate with your heart. And I had a client tell me, oh, I have all men in my company and I don't think I can communicate from the heart. Communicating from the heart is being crystal clear and being genuine and being more connected too, because your brain has a consciousness. And if you listen to anything on Heart Math and go to that website or listen to their videos, the heart has a huge magnetic field. So living from your heart, you're going to be happier, more elevated. People will connect with you more.
Right.
It's a great way to live.
So I want you to know that Dede has written a book called The Joy of Tweeting, and it's using social media to inspire others. It's a really beautiful book. The pictures in it are just fantastic with beautiful sayings on it. I love it. And so you can pick that up on Amazon. You can go to feelgoodexpress.com website. And I invite you to check that out. As I said, there's lots of goodies and ideas. And as you scroll down the page, you'll see right there that Dede gives lots of tips on what you can do to empower your heart, your body, your mind, depending on the link. It's a great website. So, Dede, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Spirituality Rocks. I want you to know that your work is really empowering a lot of people. I just know it because I can feel it in my toes, and I'm very good about feeling in my toes, that kind of stuff. And I know that sounds crazy, but I literally can feel it in my heart. And I appreciate that you're taking a field that's so comprehensive, mind, body, and spirit, and making it so that just about anybody can really embrace it and bring it into their life. So check out Dede Lyons at Feel Good Express, and thank you so much for joining us on Spirituality Rocks.
Thank you, Janine. It was a joy, complete joy.
All right. Stay tuned. Right after these commercial breaks, we'll be here with Mary Guariglia. She is an energy coach with Access Consciousness. We'll be right back with more of Spirituality Rocks.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Lee, GMC, and the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhouse TV.
You are the man. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. Made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket.
After all the candles are blown out, after the last toast of the night, Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech stand the test of time. Beautifully designed, built to last. Only Cambridge paving stones have ArmorTech, our unique process that produces a rich, distinctive color. Create your own memories with Cambridge paving stones. Visit CambridgePavers.com.
Cambridge paving stones with ArmorTech will always look like new.
Do it on you, just a little bit to show.
Will it really do something?
You are watching Spirituality Rocks. I'm your host, Janine Burns. Please check us out on Facebook and like us on Facebook. Also, our website is www.spiritualityrockstv.com, where you can look up past episodes. Right now, I have with me Mary Guariglia. She is an energy coach, a transformational coach. She is involved with Access Consciousness. She's an energy healer. Welcome to Spirituality Rocks, Mary.
Thank you so much, Dr. Janine. Should I call you Dr. Janine?
You call me Janine, it's fine.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm just so grateful that I have been invited to share the new tools and techniques of this Access Consciousness that you speak of.
Okay, well, let's jump in. What is Access Consciousness?
Well, it's a new set of pragmatic, actually, very pragmatic tools and techniques that work in this modern world. And it's just so simple, it's almost too simple to believe. But anyway, this foundation of it is be in the question. A question empowers, a question expands, and an answer always disempowers. So we're the question people. We're not the people that give the answers. The target of Access is empowerment. It actually is. We empower people to know that they do know, which is a little different than the other coaches out there. I'm very impressed with the people you had on today because they were absolutely amazing. That they talked about choice and awareness, and that's basically the foundation of Access Consciousness, accessing individual consciousness. So we do an energy work called bars. They're called the bars, and the bars are a set of 32 points on the head, which are lightly touched, will allow the person, it creates an electromagnetic bar. That's why it's called the bars. Very simple. People say, oh, is that a dance or is that a drinking bar or whatever? No, it's an electromagnetic bar that's created on the head.
Yes.
And as that's created, the person that is receiving the bars allows their subconscious to eliminate limitations that are ready to go. So
okay,
what
so
it says,
through this light touch, the electromagnetic field is altered, which then causes the subconscious mind to respond and release,
let go of anything
of negative thoughts, negative beliefs, negative ideas, negative feelings, conditionings, paradigms that are blocking and thwarting your good.
That's right, and that they're ready to release. And the fact is that you're receiving, like we were talking about, loving yourself and allowing the universe, the source, God, whatever you choose to call it, receiving that energy is basically one of the biggest things that people on planet Earth aren't allowing themselves to do. This technique allows them to receive because someone else is putting their hands on you.
Well, I've done 6 sessions with you, and I just find it absolutely remarkable that you have a massage table, And of course, you're fully clothed. You lie there and you sit behind me. And you just position your hands over my head. First, I think you start with a little healing prayer blessing. And then you start touching the palms, etc., and doing some...
That's the energy pulls, just to make sure your energy isn't blocked through your body.
Okay.
We start at the head to pull up the energy through the feet, and then we do the hands to remove any blockages in the circulatory area in the top part of your body. So you are more able to receive any of those charges that will take out limitations.
The electromagnetic charges. Okay. Well, I know for me, I've fallen asleep at each session. Yes. I'm just like, boom, out for well over an hour. I mean, sometimes the sessions were an hour and a half.
Yes.
And because you do it until you're complete.
Yes.
Now, they're called bars. How would you describe the bars? As the points on the head?
Yes, because each bar, when you're doing there's 32, so some of them, half of them on one half of the head and the other half of the other. You position your hands, and we'll have a demonstration in a little while, that creates that electromagnetic bar across to each point. So that's why it's called a bar.
Right. How can people get in touch with you? I know we have a banner across the screen. Tell us your web address.
It's seekyourjoy.com, and that would be perfect. I'm just getting my website all together, and I will have a lot of very neat tools and techniques from Access Consciousness free. Many, many, many free tools.
What is your phone number? Tell the people your phone number.
And my phone number is 516-987-0274.
Okay, and they also can go to www.accessconsciousness.com and find out more about the whole idea of access consciousness. And so we don't have a lot of time because I'd like to get to actual application. But do you want to quickly tell us about that you're a transformational lifestyle coach? Do you want to talk about that briefly, please?
Well, that's actually, I was a lifestyle coach prior to, like in some businesses I was doing prior to Access Consciousness. And then when I found these simple tools that actually, Janine, they just actually worked on people when they use it, being the question like, what else is possible? Or how does it get any better than this? And open-ended, letting the universe gift you as you don't expect it, but as you allow the gifts to come. I found that this was working with people, so I now have clients that I do the foundational bars work with first, and then they're open to facilitation, which is this transformational, anything they like that they need to work on. You know, health, relationships, money, family. It's just amazing how the tools work for people. Yeah. So I do sessions with people like that too.
Awesome. Well, what we're going to do is going to take a quick break, a 30-second commercial break. My producer, Tommy Marr, is going to come in. We're going to do a little switching around here. And Mary is going to actually demonstrate the access bars. So don't go far away, because we're going to be right back in 30 seconds with more of Spirituality Rocks.
I think this is a good time to tell you. You're doing okay, Mom. I can call you Mom, right? I know we haven't known each other very long, but you seem like a real keeper. You're not perfect. There was that strained carrots incident, but you're trying. You pick up my bottle every time I toss it out of my stroller. That's high comedy to an 8-month-old. You You hum the Barber of Seville when you wash my hair. So cool. And your rub downs are out of this world. Anyway, I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You know, right? How much I love you. You're doing okay, Mom.
You're watching Spirituality Rocks. I'm your host, Janine Burns. We have with us today transformational coach and access consciousness. She's an instructor, Mary Guariglia. And we have my producer, Tommy Marr, on Spirituality Rocks. So, Mary, let me ask you exactly, what do you teach? There are different aspects of access consciousness. What exactly do you teach?
Well, I am a bars certified facilitator, and I teach the bars, which I'm going to demonstrate in a couple of seconds here. And I also teach foundation level 1 because I'm an access certified facilitator as well, which means I can use questions, I can process people when they have an issue. We can ask them some questions to get them clear, and it's a little bit too in-depth now to go in such a short time, but it all works out for the holistic approach of what access consciousness can do for people.
Okay, great. And so right now you are going to give a demonstration on Tommy Marr about the bar. So give us your demonstrations and tell us what's up.
And first, what clients do not have to know all the information, but what they do have to know is that it's energy work that's soothing, and the worst case scenario is you may feel like you have a great massage internal, like all your body parts just feel like.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
And that's good. And the best case scenario is your life will change. So that's what we tell people.
Well,
and sometimes it takes more than one session.
I'm not complaining. I just would like a little less
pain. And all
pain.
I'm able to do here now in this short time is just demonstrate a little bit of where the points go in the head, easily touched. But we first start off with energy pull. So usually I put my hand in the back of a point called the power band.
Okay.
And I touch the spiritual eye here and just pull energy. And all I do is ask the energy to move, and I'll just say energy pull, energy pull, energy pull. And actually his energy will start.
And you don't usually speak out loud. You're just something you do.
No, I do this to myself.
Silently. Okay.
And in class, when I'm teaching this, because I do teach this for people, I actually will, will actually say everything out loud, but with the client, no. And when you start to feel, after a while, you really feel the energy move, so you know.
Good.
It's
Keep
moving.
going, so Tommy can feel that energy moving.
And the second pull is on the feet, but we won't do that today. That's okay.
You can do anything.
You have to take off your shoes. It'll take too time.
I'll flip them off.
We'll the third energy pull, just to move that energy around so he can get the greatest benefit from it, is the two hands. May I have your other hand? Thank you very much. In the little the place here, and his finger in there, and I say, and I pull the energy again 3 times, and then the energy circulates. And then his energy is moving fabulous actually right now, so very, very good. Okay. So one of the most amazing places is an implant band, where a lot of our thoughts, feelings, emotions have been stored this lifetime, many lifetimes, and eons. So it's behind the ears, so I just take my hands and move to the spot, and I literally hold this, and I start to feel the energy. Sometimes it's pulsing, sometimes it's tingling.
What are you
sometimes
feeling
it's
now?
A lot of heat. Heat.
You're feeling heat, okay.
And a little vibration. So the different spots do different things. So I actually run this on a client until the energy starts to level out and subside.
What do you mean run it? What does that mean?
Holding the points. I'm doing nothing to him. I'm not putting energy into him. I'm not pulling energy out. I'm allowing the electromagnetic bar here, by just holding, being the plug for his head, allowing him to release whatever he's ready to now, just will release, because he is actually aware enough to say, yes, I'd like to receive. So the process starts by that awareness and the choice to step up to the plate and do it. So I congratulate you, Tommy.
I'm ready. I'm with you.
Are you
100%.
feeling relaxed?
I'm all in. I'm just wondering, is heat bad, or is...
No. Anything that's coming into the sensing I'm getting is telling me that the bar is releasing the limitations. That's what's cool about it. And then I move on to the next bar. Yeah. The next bar is like money, control, and creativity. Now, money, control, creativity is the 3 little fingers way up here. Now, those are wonderful bars, because we actually control how much money we allow in our lives. So money, control, creativity. And we need money to create too, and we have a lot of limitations with our creativity. So these bars, yeah, he's ready to release some limitations here.
Good.
And that's usually a person's lying down, so I kind of look a little funky here, but this is basically, you could do this at the beach, you could do this on the floor, you could do this in a chair like this, or in a massage table.
Good. And
yeah, it's running.
Good. And while you're running that bar, tell us more about the training. I know that you encourage people to actually learn the process so that they can do it on their friends and their friends can do it on them.
Yes. The amazing thing about, I should also mention this beginning, I apologize for that, Gary Douglas is the amazing founder of these 32 points that got channeled into him, downloaded from him, actually in New York City, for over 25 years. So he is the person that has brought this to the world, and it is a very modern technique that actually works. So, what was the question? I'm sorry, I went off. Oh, I do classes. He allows people to have an 8-hour bars class. That's why I became a bars facilitator, not just the practitioner. And the people that come out of my 8-hour class actually learn all these points. They have a chance to read the foundational material in a manual, get bar charts. They have all the charts of all the points on the head. I'm going to go to the next spot in a couple of seconds. And also be able to, after the class, trade with anybody else in the world that is also a bars practitioner and have clients.
Okay. So go to the next bar, please. Are you finished with that bar?
Yes, I am finished with that bar.
Am I going to have some money now?
You just might. The other one is wonderful, is, I'm skipping around here, but this is a good one, aging toaster. And many people have found out that
Aging toaster?
Aging toaster, it's called, and it's on the sheet and in the bar chart. And what it is that we have so many preconceived conditioning and past lives ideas of aging. If we didn't have so many ideas about aging, would we age? I mean, I know you, Janine, and myself, we are just looking great for any age, right?
Well, for the chronological age, I would say okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of people that are doing bar sessions and have been in Access for years, their friends go, well, I think I'm interested in this because you're actually looking better than I am. So it's encouraging for people, because isn't anti-age a very big arena today?
How do you teach people to feel energy? I'm curious, like, how do you teach them? I know that sometimes we'd go like this and we'd have people go and feel it, but how do you teach people to feel energy?
Well, the interesting thing is, and I tell my people in my class, that you may not feel the energy the first time you're in the class. You may not feel it a week later or even months later. Gary Douglas actually talks on the bars DVD that we show with the class, that it took him a long time. Just know that this works. But what I find out is that if you focus on your hands while you're doing it, then that awareness of focusing, you start to sense it right away. Okay?
You do sense it.
So I tell people that don't worry if you don't, because it will come the more you do it. But most people say, yeah, I do sense that now, a little bit of heat here and there. And you go, that's it. It's either tingling, heat, it manifests very differently.
Will the client feel something?
Actually, sometimes they do. Sometimes they'll feel a shift in their belly area because something's moving. Sometimes they'll feel heat.
Tommy, are you feeling anything?
I am a receiver of this. I mean, the other day I did it, and the woman that was doing it had us doing, and I could actually feel the energy. I was like this, and I could actually feel it pushing, like you know, you try to push two magnets together.
Right.
Like, it was that kind of a feeling. Is this like? Is there any association with this to tapping?
No, tapping is literally hitting the points on the body for the.
No, I know what it is. I just wonder, is there any association?
Well, I think they're all energy work.
Energy points.
They all have to do with energy work.
Pressure points.
Because the tapping, I definitely.
There's tapping, and then there's tapas acupressure technique.
There's so many.
There's so many, and it's becoming more popular
and
now.
you know, I've done many of them, and they've been very expansive. I also meditated 28 years of my life, seriously, 1 to 6 hours a day at times in India. I mean, I was following a spiritual guru who really was amazing.
Okay.
And 1.5 hours in my first bars class of getting the bars from my teacher.
Yeah.
When I first found the bars, I sensed more awareness in the joy I was experiencing than 28 years of meditating. So all I could say is, this stuff is really progressive.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, I want to tell the people that if they go to seekyourjoy.com and sign up for Mary's mailing list, that she's going to send them this piece, the first step Tools for Change, by Mary. And this is terrific material here that you can have sent to you, and you can look this over and learn more about this and learn more about access consciousness. And one of my favorite questions that you bandy around a lot, and which is an important question in access conscious, is what else is possible? Correct?
Yes.
Tell us about that question and why you use it.
Oh, that question opens up all the possibilities, and we never ask questions to have an answer. However, we ask the question to have an awareness. And once we've asked what else is possible, you're actually asking the universe, well, what's next? And it really opens up expansively.
Well, I'd like to comment on that, if I may.
Yes, please.
When we ask a question, the subconscious mind goes on a mission to answer it. And usually we ask improper questions. We'll say, why did this happen to me? How could I be so stupid? And then your mind goes on a mission to answer that, and it remembers when you were, 10 years old in 3rd grade and the teacher had you standing in the corner with a dunce cap on. So we need to learn to ask empowering questions. And as you said, stay in the possibilities. So one of the questions is, what else is possible? I like to say questions like, why am I so healthy? Why am I so happy? And just keep posing that. And I say that, for my family and friends, etc. What other questions do you work with, Mary?
Well, how does it get any better than this?
How does it get any better than this?
Now, this may sound crazy because when stuff happens that you don't like, you say, how does it get any better than this?
To take you out of it.
Changes the energy, as we were talking about before.
You got that, Tommy Moore?
And if it is still
I'm going
good.
To places.
This bar's got. This is joy, sadness, healing, sexuality, and body. These are hot bars. Okay, we're doing good.
All at once.
All at once. So if you think about it, we have a lot of
bars.
healing to do in these areas. Anyway, how does it get any better than this? It just keeps getting better. So if things are really good, you say, how does it get any better than this? They get better. If things are really not so good, how does it get any better than this? You switch the energy instantaneously. That awareness is huge, and I use it all the time. People go, oh, it can't get any better. I said, well, I don't answer the question because you'll stop the energy. As soon as you say, it can't get any better than this, or it can't get any better than this, you have stopped the energy.
Right.
Do you feel that? I felt heaviness as soon as I said that.
Yeah, I can see that's true. And also, then your subconscious goes on a mission, and the way the subconscious works through the law of mind will attract people, circumstances, and events that correspond to the particular thought. So it's pretty exciting. Oh my gosh, I just got the 1 minute cue.
Whoa!
The 1 minute cue. I just want to remind you to go to seekyourjoy.com, sign up on Mary Guariglia's website for the mailing list, and she will send you this fantastic piece on the first step, Tools for Change. I just want to say that I have just enjoyed my 2 years here. Excuse me? No.
I was just saying thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I just want to say that I've enjoyed my 2 years here. I will be filming now just once a month for the next few months because I'm working on some projects, and then looking forward to perhaps back at the end of the year going full-time again. But I just want to thank everybody at the Madhouse Studios for supporting my work and my ministry, all the many, many, many guests that we've had. We are currently putting up on the website www.spiritualityrocks.tv.com all the shows that have been on. They're on Facebook. We're putting up the links so you can check them out. And so I want to thank you, Mary. It's been a delight. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me, and it was total pleasure on my part.
And Tommy, what do you want to say?
I recommend her.
Yay!
I could feel it.
You enjoyed it.
I love that.
Yeah, you like the energy work.
I'm all in on that stuff.
Okay, well, I'm going to lean over and see if I can get this shot. We'll get in one shot here, and I want you to join with me because I just want to say I bless you. I appreciate you. I love you for watching. Please check us out on Facebook. And you ready? Thank you for being with us on Spirituality Rocks.